Hey there, you wonderful listeners. I have a question for you. Do you want to make a podcast? Well, Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily and then distribute it everywhere and even earn money all in one place and for free. How can you beat that? It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here is how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also available on Spotify. And when you want to take conversations with your fans to the next level, there are Q&A and poll options available, and those are the best way to get them talking. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, it's totally free with no catch. Ever since I've discovered Spotify for Podcasters, it has made doing my shows like the Steam Machine Podcast, Yabs Pod, and the JRPG Report much, much easier to do. Like being able to just go on there, record them, upload it, boom, it's done. I don't have to pay for a site service to host or anything like that. It's fantastic. So I highly recommend that you give it a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started today.
Welcome to the Steam Machine Podcast. With your hosts, Dalton and Ryan.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Steam Machine Podcast. My name is Dalton. Joining me, as always, is my good buddy.
This is Ryan.
And this week, man, we took a safari journey. We put all of our cash into the world, built a zoo, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, I want to ask you, sir, what have you been up to this week? How are you doing, man?
Same old. Work decided to change my schedule around on me at the very last minute. So, today's my first day off in like 6 days, 7 days, something like that.
Well, hopefully you get to chill a little bit tonight and tomorrow. I won't say sleep in because I know that's not a thing for you, but
yeah, no.
But you told me that you added a game to the list this year.
Yeah, I bought PGA 2K21. It's a just stupid golf game. Something mine. I love golf games because they're mindless. Like, it's just as aggravating as real golf when you play a shitty hole, but
yeah, I'm excited to play that.
Yeah.
It's looking at the library, I'm gonna have to reconnect your library to mine. It looks like.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't have any of your games in here anymore. Well, damn, I was gonna install PGA Tour.
We'll figure it out.
But anyways, I added a few games myself. I added a game called Venetica, which it reminded me of Fable, but you play as a girl. And I don't think it's quite as RPG-esque, but I don't know. It looked cool to me, so I snagged it. I snagged the first Ni no Kuni, so now we have both of those games. And I believe, I might have talked about this last week, but I'm not sure. I got Pathfinder Kingmaker. And
I saw that on the list, and I was like, huh, what's that?
Total War Warhammer 1 and 2 I got as well. So Pathfinder Kingmaker is basically they took the, what is it called? The module? Yeah, the module is a Pathfinder module called Kingmaker, and they just made it into a video game. And that thing is in-depth. Like, from what I've seen, I've watched a couple videos on it and stuff. Like, it goes really in-depth into the Pathfinder system, and it seems really cool. And honestly, like, it makes me want to play Pathfinder. I also want to check out Warhammer, but I don't feel like spending money on the figures and stuff. Like, if there was a way to just do it tabletop without that, that'd be sweet. But
Warhammer is cool and all, but Warhammer is a game for that, like, 1% elite. Like, you have to have money, and you have to have time for Warhammer, because you got to paint like all your figures, and you got to paint all your shit.
Yeah.
You gotta
or have the money to buy the ones that are already painted, which I'm sure would cost more. You get them from Etsy and stuff.
Money. Yeah. No, you Warhammer is not for the common folk. Like,
Well, hopefully the video games will be cool because they seem pretty chill. The Total War series
Yeah.
is really cool. I mean, I like Total War. We've got a few of them in the list,
no.
so those should be fun. And I got two JRPGs called Zwei, and I think I'm saying that right. It reminds me of the German word for two, Zwei. The Argus Adventure and the Ilvard Insurrection. They were there was a reason I got these. Hold on, let me look at the store page. Oh yes, because they are Neon Falcon games, which is like they came from this. I believe Ys is released over here by Neon Falcon.
Cool.
So I'm like, can't really go wrong with that. It's very pretty and cool pixel art style. Like, or not, I'm sorry, not pixel, but like the, PlayStation 1 era, 64-bit
Yeah.
type stuff. I don't know. I could I might not know what the fuck I'm talking about, and people are going to be shouting at me right now. So there's always that, too. And at some point, I added Skullgirls. I don't know if I ever mentioned that, but that's like a cult fighting game. So
No.
it should be fun. Should be fun. But, yeah, other than that, man, I think we covered a lot of the news last week, so there's not much this week that I could see.
No, I haven't seen much either.
Then let's just go ahead and drop into Planet Zoo. This is probably not going to be a super long episode.
You did you did send me a link the other day. Black Desert Online's doing a 5-year anniversary.
That's right.
Get your Game Pass for free until March 9th.
Yeah, so hop on that. If you want to play an MMO that is not too heavy on the pay to win, really, it's more like pay for convenience type things that are in that game. But it's the prettiest MMO I've ever played. Like, the graphics in it are fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
So it's worth a try, man. And it's fucking free. So, like, what do you have to lose? You can get it, and if you don't like it, hey, you lost nothing but maybe 20 minutes of your time. Or play it for an hour. You know what I mean? That's the equivalent of $7.50 apparently. So, it's so yeah. There you go. Just check it out. It's really fun. I enjoy it. Honestly, I bought myself a little raft, and I go out in the ocean and I go fishing.
Yeah.
And I get to see all these big ass fucking ships coming into port, and their waves are like knocking me around, but I'm just fishing.
I just want to be a fisherman. That's it.
Dude, and that's the thing.
I'll
That's the
just
great thing about that game.
Log
is-
into the MMO game just to go fishing. I don't care about leveling. Nothing.
Yeah, it's a sandbox, dude. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
There is like a main story, but you don't have to do it if you don't want to. It's great. So let's jump into Planet Zoo. It's probably not going to be a super long episode. I don't know if I said that
No.
earlier, but it's like, because I have things to talk about with it, in things that happened to me that were like, oh, what the hell? But
Yeah.
other than that, it's really cool. So the obligatory Wikipedia bullshit is Planet Zoo is a construction and management simulation game developed by and published by Frontier Developments for Microsoft Windows. The game is a spiritual successor to Zoo Tycoon and Zoo Tycoon 2, with gameplay similar to the studio's theme park game Planet Coaster, which is also on our list, Planet Coaster.
Yeah.
It was released on November 5th, 2019, and received generally positive reviews. As with Planet Coaster, the critics praised Planet Zoo's creation tools along with its realistic animal portrayals and emphasis on wildlife conservation. However, the game was also criticized for the complexity of its management and building mechanics, which were deemed to be overly challenging for some players. I don't disagree there.
No, being a super casual gamer with very little construction and management simulation
Experience.
background, yeah, since fucking SimCity 2000, like, yeah, this was like super detailed. Like this game was on steroids compared to like Tycoon and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
like,
And Planet Coaster's just as bad.
yeah, I bet like all the different blueprints and shit that you can do, and then how far it even went with like breaking down species specific like plants and materials and shit like that.
Even the
like,
terrain. It's like, hey, your alligator wants a little more rock and a little less tall grass, so you need to
Yeah.
put some rock in. Yeah, it was really cool though. Like it's amazing that they were able to make it as in depth as they did.
It was.
But I definitely shout
like
out.
you were,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, like you were saying, there's probably not going to be like a whole lot to talk about this game. There's definitely like parts of this game that I loved, parts of this game that aggravated the shit out of me. But I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it because it was just like any other sim game that I've played, and just wanted to jump right into the fucking like Rosebud cheat. Just give me unlimited shit so I can just build.
Yeah, so you went to sandbox mode.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I did a couple of the scenarios on the career, but I just wanted to build. I just wanted to see what there was and how cool it could be. Like
It has 73 different animal species, and 22 new species becoming available through 5 separate downloadable content packs. And
DLC.
I bought 2 of the DLC because they were on sale.
Yeah.
But if they're not on sale, I wouldn't recommend them, because in the DLCs you get hundreds and hundreds of building pieces, and then you get like 4 new species and 1 exhibit animal.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it depends. Like, I got the one with penguins because I wanted penguins, and then I got the one with kangaroos and koalas because I wanted kangaroos and koalas.
Yeah.
So I think it was the Australia pack and the aquatic pack was the ones that I got.
Yeah.
Now, I don't necessarily consider them worth it. I just had some extra cash and was super baked and thought it would be cute to have koalas, you know, so and penguins. So it just kind of started down this thing. And my zoo doesn't even have penguins yet.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm in the wrong hemisphere to even have them. Which is another thing. When you choose how you want your zoo to be, there are certain hemispheres that have certain animals. And you can bring in other animals, but there are certain animals that just can't come. Or if they do, you have to really... Like, if you want a Siberian tiger in the desert, their enclosure is going to have a lot of cooling things around it to keep them cold.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Like, you really have to worry
That
about
was
that.
That was one of the objectives for one of the tutorial scenarios.
Oh, the career mode. The career mode acts as the tutorial, and I will say 2 things. Shout out to a YouTuber, Paul Slay. It's like Paulsley. He's got a ton of videos on Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster. And he had a video going through what each keybind is and telling you what each button did. So, like, I would keep that on tab and be like, all right, I bet I can do this. And then I would skim through his video until I found him talking about what I needed to do, right? And he's got videos on... He's got massive zoos that he's built. And you can actually go into the Steam... workshop and download them and play them yourself if you wanted.
Wow.
He's got his own Steam creation thing on there. Because that's one cool thing about this game is if you build a cool looking zoo that you're really proud of, you can upload it to the Steam workshop and other people could download it and play it.
Yeah.
What was your first animal? Not barring or in your sandbox, not career mode.
Oh, in the sandbox? God, what did I build first? I think I did the alligators.
Alligators?
Yeah.
I built this enclosure and I did buffalo, wildebeest, and ostriches, and that was my first thing. And I built a big walkway going over it. Now, did you ever have a problem with trash? Did you remember to put trash bins down?
Yeah, trash bins were everywhere. It's kind of like Sim Coaster and shit, where your parks would just get super dirty if you didn't have trash cans every 10 feet.
And you didn't have enough people cleaning.
Yeah.
So like you had to worry about that. I had my donation bins all around right next to the information board. So your goal basically is to create a park that entertains people but also teaches them. So you want to have you have education speakers that are playing facts about whatever animal. You can place them down, set their radius, have information boards with information about the animals that are in the exhibit or the whatever you have them in. Because exhibit animals are a little different. You actually have to purchase an exhibit, and that's kind of like in the zoos when you go into the snake room and stuff like that, like the reptile areas. Those are the exhibits, and then you have your enclosures and your barriered off stuff. Now, I typically used two-way glass, which I think you had to research to get. You had to do some research with one of your vets, but it kept the animals from getting stressed. Now, I did have an issue.
Oh, are you talking one-way glass?
Yeah.
Where the people can see in, but the animal can't see out?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was a pain in the ass because I realized I had to drag it from right to left to make it the way because I would do left to right, and it would make it where the animals could see out, but people couldn't see in, and I'd be like, damn it. And I tried for like 5 minutes before I realized, oh, if I just pull it the other way, it'll fix it. It's like, well, son of a bitch. So all the animals in that area were getting stressed, and I think it was because I had the walkway going over, and it was the most popular, so there was always a crowd of people around this place.
Yeah.
So I extended it into this big other area that I had completely walled off, where the animals could just go chill. Nobody could go and look at them. Then they would be able to, relax. Well, I built it with walls, brick walls, and all of a sudden I get a notification that animals have escaped, and I'm like, what? So I click the button, and it takes me over there, and 2 little baby ostriches had wandered outside of the wall. So I'm like, well, that's weird. So I used the emergency move. Them cost me $1,000 each. Put them back into the cage. Everything was fine. So I go off and I start building this other exhibit I'm working on, and I get a notification. Dangerous animal has escaped. I'm like, fuck. So I hit the thing, and it's one of the African wildebeest, and he's just chilling outside and I'm like, how did you get out there? And I watched him. He then turned around and he ran through the wall, right back in. And then he turned around and ran through the wall and ran right back out.
Did you have a glitch?
Yeah, absolutely, because it was like there was no wall there. So I clicked the wall and I replaced it with thick glass. And then I threw his ass back in there. And then I never had another issue again. But this one section of wall was just letting them walk right through it. I'm like, well, that's not kosher.
Right.
But by the end, I had that exhibit. I had a saltwater crocodile exhibit.
Nice.
I had a grizzly bear exhibit, and they had a cub, and oh my god, the bear cubs in this game are adorable, dude.
Well, they're adorable in real life.
Yeah. I would zoom in on him, and I'd be like, oh, give me them little cheeks. They're so cute.
If you want to go that creationist route, God's really an asshole. He make bears so dangerous, but yet so fucking cuddly. Like,
yeah, dude. They look so friendly, but they're so not.
Yeah, they will rip you apart in seconds.
So then the second issue that I had with animals escaping, I built an enclosure and put in kangaroos and koalas and went and started doing some other stuff. Well, I made it brick wall, and I got a notification, hey, an animal has escaped. So I click it, it takes me over there, and there's this little koala just slowly climbing down the other side of the brick wall like he was just making his way out.
Yeah.
So I clicked him, put him back in. Not even 20 seconds later, the other koala is climbing out of another spot. So I had to make all of them glass again so they couldn't climb it. Because I realized on the barrier types that it said climbable or not climbable.
Yeah. Depending on the species of animal, some material is climbable and not.
Yeah, so like
the brick
lemurs,
is good for
monkeys.
Animals. Yeah. Stuff that can climb or jump really high.
Yeah, you got it.
It's like I know when you build like the tiger enclosures and stuff, you have to have it like 4 meters tall,
At
or
least.
else the tiger will be able to escape. Yeah.
At least, yeah.
No.
God. But yeah, so I got a notification a little later on because I put this big ass tree in their section so the koalas would have something to climb, and there's a couple smaller trees. I get a notification that one of your koalas has escaped, and I'm like, seriously, again? How did it climb the glass? And I go and I look, and it's on the tree branch, but it's walked so far out on the tree branch that it's technically outside of its barrier. Yeah. So the game registered that as it was escaping. And it was funny because the koala was just sitting there, and I clicked on him, and before I even had to move him, he just got up and turned around, and he just started walking back on the branch. Wow. So I moved him out of the tree, and then I moved the tree to the center, and it was all good after that.
Do you have any protesters show up at your zoo?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It was my animals would be stressed in that one exhibit, and I could not figure out how to make them not stressed because they were all supposed to be friendly with one another. And yeah, protesters would show up. I still had like 4,000 people in my zoo.
What animal was it that was stressed out?
It was the ostrich, the wildebeest, and the water buffalo. Like for some reason they would get stressed, and I think it's because of the big crowds of people around them.
Maybe.
Or maybe I should have made their exhibit bigger, which I did eventually, but like I said, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. They would also, like, I would build a new exhibit, and as I'm trying to get because when you do the exhibits, you have to monitor the temperature and the humidity in there for different species. And I would be working on doing that, and protesters would show up because the animal wasn't happy, and then I'd get them right, and then the protesters would just walk away. They'd be there for 10 seconds and then just walk away.
Yeah.
I was like, you bastards. And I was playing on easy, so I can't imagine playing on like hard. Jesus.
Yeah.
I did have pulled up, what was this guy's name? Elite Gaming or something like that. Party Elite, I think actually is what it was. He had a Planet Zoo Let's Play where he was doing seasons of like him playing through and how his zoo did. So I watched him as I was playing. It was pretty entertaining. He did a big croc exhibit. The croc, he had a crocking good time is what he called it.
Yeah.
All the names of his episodes were puns. It was great. But you do have to worry about things like inbreeding in this game. Like the systems go that depth. Like if you start having babies, you need to either sell those babies or put them into different exhibits, release them to the wild to gain conservation points. And that's another thing. I know you didn't play franchise mode. So in franchise mode, all the really popular animals, you want an elephant, you want a giraffe, you want a lion, you got to use conservation points. You only get those from shaking hands with people visiting your park, I think, and releasing animals to the wild. And that's as far as I know.
Yeah.
I did see a guy online say that they recommended making a franchise and just using it like a puppy farm and just having animals come and go, and that is just farm conservation points because those carry over. So then you can go back to your normal zoo and spend them. Which is interesting. But I don't know. I couldn't bring myself to do that even though they're fake animals. Like,
even though it's fake running a mill? No.
I still couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it either. My heart kind of like broke when you brought it up.
But apparently that is a good way of making that. But man, it's so the word I know I keep saying that it's so in depth, but my goodness, dude. Like you can break down what you're making per month on what, all your different restaurants can either have the same prices or you can have them different prices. You can have drink machines. There's like vending machines and stuff. There's food vendors. You have to have like a vet center. You have to have a trading center. You have to have a vet surgery area.
You have to have the staff center, the
break
surgery,
rooms,
the quarantine, there's a break room, and then there's like the keeper's quarters where they keep all the food and shit for the animals.
Yeah, the keeper's hut. That's where they go and make the food.
Yeah. Then you got the surgical suite, the quarantine. There was one other one. I think one other main building that was like part of the main core. I forget though.
Yeah, I can't remember right offhand. I will say that if you don't want to absolutely have to micromanage every little single thing, I recommend setting up work zones for your people that work for you. So it's like I had them all in the same work zone. It was called Buffalo Conda, and it's because the first things I built was the buffalo area and the anaconda exhibit. So Buffalo Conda, and then I just slowly started expanding that, and I just kept doing it. Yeah. They weren't feeding any animals at one point, so I did have a work zone called Feed the Fucking Buffalo. But I figured out that if you place too many of the feeder thing, like the big troughs and stuff, your keeper just won't go in there and fill them for some fucking reason. So
it's too much work.
I deleted the ones. There was one that was underground, and I accidentally placed it underground, and it was throwing everything the fuck off. And I finally was able to click it, because eventually it gave me a notification like, this thing is not being able to be filled. And I'm like, well, yeah, because it's 20 feet underground, so let me just click it and delete it. I don't know how many times I'd place a building, and then I'd come out of the build mode thing, and I'd look at it, and I'd be like, oh, fuck, it's 6 feet above the ground, so I'm just going to either go back in and lower it or just build stairs. Like, my depth perception was terrible. Now, that's another thing, is getting used to the controls and the camera.
Yeah, the camera work on my laptop was
I bet it was fucking brutal.
Hard to manage. Yeah. No, it was rough on my laptop. If it was this bad on my laptop, I know it's not even much better for just PC.
No, the WASD moves the camera around, and I mean you can use the mouse to drag and click and drag and stuff too. But Q and E raise and lower it, and that was just weird to get used to. Because I did use my mouse for a lot of it, but there was just certain times where I needed the keys to get myself into the exact angle I wanted. It's just hell. I don't know. I don't know really what else to fucking talk about with this game. The 4 DLC was the Arctic pack, the South America pack, the Australia pack, and the Aquatic pack.
Yeah.
Which I'll tell you that the Arctic pack came with polar bears, Arctic wolf, Dall's sheep, and reindeer.
Nice.
I don't have that one, and I don't.
Yeah, we're missing that one. We're missing the South America.
Yeah, we
one.
don't have South America. South America came with jaguar, giant anteater,
Nice.
llamas,
Nice.
capuchin monkeys, and the red-eyed tree frog.
Nice.
But we do have Australia, which came with the koala, the red kangaroo, dingoes, southern cassowaries, and the eastern blue-tongued lizard.
Nice.
And then the aquatic pack was the gray seal, the king penguin, the giant otter, Cavier's dwarf caiman, and diamondback terrapin.
Nice.
So I will pop back in my zoo at some point because I would love some seals, penguins, and otters.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But I just haven't gotten there yet. This game got pretty damn good scores, honestly.
Yeah, no, I could see why it did get like good reviews and good scores and stuff. Like, it's a great system. It's a great game. It's like Windows Flight Simulator. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, you're not gonna have a fun time. Like,
I mean, dude, yeah, I have a buddy. The other Dalton is actually a huge Flight Simulator fan, and I played it, and it was cool. Like, I flew over Keystone, checked all out, like where my house is, and I crashed and landed into my backyard and stuff. But I was not very good at just flying.
yeah, no, it's this is one of those games. Like, if you know what you're doing, it's very fun. It's very entertaining. But if you don't have the time to learn the system and you learn the game, you're gonna have a bad time. You got to remember to pizza instead of French fry.
But yeah, there was a few animals that looked like they came with a deluxe version that didn't come in the standard set. The pygmy hippo, Komodo dragon, Thompson's gazelle. God, I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. But yeah, man, I mean, look, if you love animals, if you like Zoo Tycoon,
Yeah.
I absolutely recommend Planet Zoo.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And yeah, let's hit up Steamy. Like we said, I know this is going to be a short episode, but like I know we could probably go more in depth about it, but I mean, I think my zoo had $200,000. I was doing decent, but I had
You
a
weren't doing
lot
bad.
of donation things around
Yeah.
and ATMs, strategically placed ATMs, like right next to where the food and drink stuffs were at. Like, hit them with an ATM.
Yeah.
So it's
No,
like,
yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
I was thinking about the layout of like the Magical Kingdom and Disney, and I'm like, all right, how can I get these people to spend money?
Yeah, it's like the zoo up here in Rochester. Where's the only ATM on the zoo grounds? It's at the gift shop. Like,
Yeah, that's very smart of them. All right. So while Steamy's booting up, what are you hoping for, sir?
oh God. Something quick. A Halo game or something.
Something quick. Why is my list not opening? Am I going to have to go do this the old-fashioned way?
I'll have to figure out my birthday game that's coming up.
Yes, you do.
We're gonna do Wii Bowling.
Wii bowling.
Oh, while Steamy's booting, I did see a couple of video game related articles the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Twisted Metal, the franchise, is being turned into a series with the writers of Deadpool.
Really?
Yeah. So they're turning Twisted Metal into a series of some sort. It has the potential to be very dark, as it should be. But with the writers of Deadpool, it's probably going to have some comedy-heavy characters as well.
Well, I mean, to me, Twisted Metal had a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor in it anyway.
It did. And then, oh God, what was the other one I saw? Oh, the Mortal Kombat trailer for the new Mortal Kombat movie coming out.
I still need to watch that.
Yeah, no, it looks absolutely amazing. Looks absolutely incredible.
I know, I loved the Mortal Kombat series they did on YouTube. I think it was Mortal Kombat Legacy.
Yeah.
Like, that was fire, but that was all...
That was all like fanfic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There were a couple fanfic videos on YouTube that were really good. You had that one, the Mortal Kombat Legacy. You had a Power Rangers one that was done really good. You had a Dragon Ball one that was done really good. Somebody did a X-Men short that was focused on Gambit. That was really good.
I don't think I've seen that. You're going to have to link that to me.
Yeah, I'll find links for all of them and put them on the Discord.
Yeah, that'll work. Well, that works for me.
Yeah.
Steamy has spoken, sir.
What do we got? PGA 2K21?
No. No, Steamy chose number 607, and it is a game that was recently added to the list. You are correct, and I swear I had nothing to do with choosing it. It is Total War Warhammer 2.
Oh, is it?
So that'll be interesting. I know that's a long game, man. So we're probably only gonna get like a week out of it, maybe 2. I don't think that we would have enough to talk about for like multiple episodes, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
It's a strategy war game.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. Maybe with some of the Patreon money, we can get you an actual mouse. That way you're not having to play with a touchpad.
No, I don't. I have a mouse, but my as we experienced before last week's episode, if my mic isn't plugged into my laptop directly, it doesn't get enough power, and it gets that weird like buzzing noise or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, that was rough. I'm glad we figured that out.
So yeah,
That'd have been hell for me to edit.
yeah. So no mouse until I either get a new USB hub or build my PC. But taxes should be coming back anytime soon, so any day now.
Anytime now. I haven't even.
Any day now.
I guess I need to request a tax form because I think I'm gonna have to file some bonds that I cashed in. Other than that, I should be fine. Anyways, let's go ahead and we'll wrap up this week's episode, and then we have a Q&A that we're doing right after this for Patreon. So if you're interested in that, you can go to patreon.com/The Steam Machine Podcast, and you'll find us there, or Google it. I'm sure it'll come up. Speaking of Patreon, shout out to Nate, Turtle Bear Man, our cog in the machine. He is a $10 backer, and he's the man. And really, shout out to all of our other Patreons as well. We love you all. If you want to find us on Facebook, you can go to facebook.com/The Steam Machine Podcast, or you can search for the Steam Machine Podcast Lounge. And if groups are more your thing, if you don't like following pages, or if you want to be more interactive with other people who enjoy the show, come check out the group. On the page, pinned at the top, is a link to our merch page if you want a shirt. And it's also the link to our Discord. Come join us in Discord, man. We got a small community, but everyone in there is fucking awesome. So we would love to have you. And I think that about does it. I can't think of anything else. Am I missing anything?
No, not for this. Not for Planet Zoo, I don't think.
All right, well, Total Warhammer 2. It'll be fun, or at least I think so. We'll find out next week. All right.
We'll find out.
As always, guys, he's Ryan. I'm Dalton. Take it easy out there.